Maya. What if everything you believe about yourself is just an illusion? Who are you really? Not your job, your memories, or even your thoughts, but the self beneath it all. In this video, we unravel the ancient concept of Maya, the illusion that hides your true nature. Join Rumi, Descartes, Lao Tzu, and a modern seeker on a mind-opening journey through dreams, philosophy, and spiritual awakening. What if the world around you and the self you cling to are just shadows on the wall? Watch closely, because the moment you begin to question the illusion is the moment you begin to wake up.
The illusion of self that shapes our reality. In an old city in Persia in the 16th century, a lone seeker, Armen, a 25-year-old man, handsome, wanders in search of truth. He has heard whispers of a great secret known through the ages, that life as we know it may be Maya, an illusion. His fictional journey will take him across enchanted realms of wisdom. Along the way he meets guides such as Lao Tzu and Rumi, as well as Descartes, each helping to unveil the illusion of the self in their own unique way. What follows is Armen's mystical journey through illusion and enlightenment. Under a full moon, Armen crosses a river in the forest. The stillness is profound, only his thoughts accompany him. He remembers feeling fear and hope in equal measure during his quest, a mix of fear of the unknown and hope for answers. He met an old man with a flowing beard who was slowly walking behind him. He is Lao Tzu, the ancient sage of Taoism. Without moving his lips, Lao Tzu speaks in a calm whisper that seems to come from the breeze itself.
I fear this road might be wrong and with a dangerous animal.
Hope and fear are both phantoms that arise from thinking of the self. When you don't see the self as self, what do you have to fear?
Armen feels these words in his bones. Lao Tzu smiles kindly and continues.
See the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things and fear of nothing.
By the soft glow of moonlight, Lao Tzu teaches the Armen about the Tao, the way of nature. He explains that much of what troubles us, our anxieties, desires, and judgments, is born from an illusion of a separate self. As they walk, Lao Tzu points to the moon's reflection in a still pond.
See how the moon seems to exist in the water. A dancing, shimmering image. But try to grasp it, and it ripples away. The real moon hangs serenely in the sky above. So it is with the Tao and the self. The reflection is beautiful but illusory. The true light is higher.
Armen gazes at the reflection and then at the moon itself. He understands. The images and categories in his mind are reflections, while the true reality, the Tao, simply is, beyond mental grasping.
Empty your mind of all thoughts. Let your heart be at peace. Watch the turmoil of beings but contemplate their return. Each separate being in the universe returns to the common source. If you don't realize the source, you stumble in confusion and sorrow. When you realize where you come from, you naturally become tolerant. Immersed in the wonder of the Tao, you can deal with whatever life brings you.
Armen bows in gratitude as Lao Tzu vanishes into the forest, like a mirage that leaves behind only truth. The forest is silent again, but Armen's mind is quieter still. He feels that the tight knot of self inside him has loosened a little. That night, Armen makes camp under a canopy of stars. He drifts into a dream where he finds himself in a small candlelit room. Quills and parchment litter a wooden desk. A man in a black cloak sits deep in thought. René Descartes, the French philosopher. Armen recognizes him and recalls Descartes' famous journey of doubt. It is as if he's watching Descartes write his meditations. Descartes looks up from his writing and addresses the Armen directly.
How often have I dreamt at night of familiar places and later awoken to realize it was all illusion? Everything I see, the heavens, earth, colors, sounds, may be naught but illusions conjured to deceive me.
Armen shudders at the thought and whispers, could the entire world be a grand illusion? But then Descartes smiles and holds up a piece of parchment. On it are the words, cogito, ergo sum, I think, therefore I am.
The body is like a vessel that can deceive, but the mind's awareness is your core. Use it well, mon ami.
The room and the philosopher then dissolve into mist. Armen sleeps dreamlessly the rest of the night, the phrase, I am, echoing softly in his consciousness. At dawn, Armen finds himself in a lush green valley crossed by a clear river. Here he meets a serene monk dressed in simple robes, a follower of the Buddha. The monk is sweeping leaves from a path. He motions for Armen to sit with him by the riverbank.
Who are you, traveler? See how this river is ever changing. In each moment, it's a new river. So too, what you call you is ever-changing, a flow of thoughts, sensations, and experiences. The self is an illusion, a useful story perhaps, but ultimately a story. Just as a chariot is nothing more than the sum of its parts, you are nothing more than the collection of body, feelings, perceptions, thoughts, consciousness, all impermanent.
Armen watches a leaf float by, realizing it doesn't cling to the branch. It lets go and flows with the stream.
But why does this illusion of self matter? It feels so real.
Because this illusion, the ego, is the root of suffering. We take the fiction of self so seriously that we filter all of life through it. We crave and cling to what I want. We fear what I might lose. If I am not separate, then others' joy and pain are also mine. Life is like a dream, or a bubble, or a mirage. Meditate, watch your mind, and you will see the self is a story continuously being told. When that story quiets, what remains is just pure awareness and compassion.
Armen thanks the monk and takes a bowl of water from the river to drink. In his reflection, his face ripples and shifts, just as the monk described. He smiles and pours the water back, watching himself scatter into countless droplets. On the final leg of his journey, Armen wanders into an old town at dusk. In the market square, under lantern light, a group has gathered to listen to a poet in a white dervish robe. The poet's eyes gleam with kindness and an otherworldly joy. Armen immediately recognizes the whirling dervish as Jalal ad-Din Rumi, the 13th century Sufi mystic whose verses of love have spanned the ages. Rumi is telling a story of a moth and the flame. With graceful movements he narrates how a moth circled a candle flame drawn to its light but fearing its heat.
To know divine truth or love, we must merge with it, surrendering the ego entirely. Fana, as the Sufis call it.
Seeing Armen, Rumi smiles and begins speaking directly to him in lyrical Persian.
You have been running from room to room, searching for the diamond necklace that is already around your neck. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion.
Rumi spins in a gentle dance and recites.
Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. The eye of the heart must open to see that the beloved is everywhere. The drop lives within the ocean, and the ocean dwells within the drop. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it.
The crowd eventually disperses, lanterns are extinguished, and Rumi too fades like a dream. But the music of his poetry continues to play in Armen's soul. Before dawn, Armen climbs a nearby hill. His journey through teachings and time is nearing its end. He sits in silence, watching the stars give way to a pale blue sky. As the sun edges over the horizon, Armen experiences a moment of profound stillness and clarity. He recalls each lesson. Lao Tzu taught that by releasing the ego and embracing the Tao, one can overcome fear and live in harmony, seeing the world as an extension of oneself. Descartes' dream demonstrated that even if everything external were an illusion, the essence of consciousness, the I am, is real and aware. Yet even that I must not be falsely inflated. The Buddhist monk demonstrated that the personal self is insubstantial, like a water swirl that appears briefly and then disappears, and that clinging to this illusion leads to suffering. Rumi revealed that the secret of dissolving illusion is love. By dropping the barriers of ego, one merges into a greater self, a unity with the beloved and all of existence.
If this video touched your heart, subscribe. It's inspired by the timeless wisdom in the 7-book Rumi collection by Dr. Farid Mostaman. Whether you seek healing, love, clarity, or growth, these teachings will guide you inward to the truth of who you are.